actually wrote something. Wow. Thanks for throwing me such an awesome party. What are you doing for me next year? Hooters maybe? I don't know. I'm Jae, and I'm a grateful member of this community. So, I'm celebrating 6 years without recreational sugar, dieting, or weight obsession. Food isn't my own, thank you. Yeah, thanks. Food is not my only addiction, but it's the one that got me into the rooms after years where I continue to work on my recovery from addiction every day. Addiction is a whack-a-mole. Remember that game? You just hit one thing and it pops up someplace else. Well, that's what my addiction does to me, and probably does to you. If you've been blessed with an addicted brain, you can eliminate one substance or behavior only to attach to another obsession. We might start with drugs and alcohol, which I did, only to discover that we are possessed by something else, like gambling, shopping, food, sex. My brain also tells me that if a little is good, a lot is better. And a lot is never enough. Once I could use the products that I was using to get to oblivion, eventually there wasn't ever enough to take me to the bliss of escape from myself. Once I gave up those substances, I thought I was free. Obviously, I thought, while I was a heavy user, I would have never been an addict because I was able to stop without getting into a 12-step program or going into recovery. So I was good to go. But while I thought I had safely escaped, I came to realize that I had just moved to other behaviors, including using food, yo-yo dieting, measuring my value by the number on the scale, and as a replacement escape from the real problems and feelings I had been avoiding. I had just rerouted my compulsion to safer, legal, and socially acceptable behaviors. We all love to eat, right? And because food is not only a required for subsistence, but a very socially acceptable form of celebration and pleasure, you can't just pour a cork in it. Every food decision requires battles with the disease. I didn't have to really face my demons while stuffing my feelings, distracting my senses, and trying and failing at diet after diet. It was exactly the same revolving door I'd been in before. I was still soothing the hole in my soul with chaos. While trapped in an abusive relationship, I had focused my attention on the 10 pounds on my hips, which eventually blossomed to 50 pounds of isolation. Rather than overcoming the grief of widowhood, I hit the buffets. When I was in challenging jobs, I focused my energy on the lowest fat diet. Perfection was either a bite away or a number on the scale. I expected that once I was the ideal weight, I would finally gain the confidence to fulfill all dreams, become someone everyone would acknowledge and admire, and I would get the perfect life that I deserved. Of course, I could never actually achieve that idealized body size. I would then throw in the towel, hate myself, and justify returning to the reckless disregard of my health by renewing my instant gratification to those things that created a party in my head. Just as we've experienced other addictions, we attach our sick minds to, if we can't stop, we rationalize, then we might as well go on another run. And I did. So I finally came to believe that it wasn't about what I was using. It was about using behaviors I could control to avoid all internal crap over which I had no control. My brain is still a heat-seeking missile, which is why even though I've more or less lassoed this compulsion, doesn't mean that other stuff isn't chasing me and distracting me. It's a lifetime job, and I need the 12 steps, and I need fellowship, and I need all of you to do that. Every tough decision I now face is run through the serenity prayer. I have finally learned to accept what I can't change, and I can truly let resentment go. What a huge relief. I have a program, a sponsor, sponsees, reading, writing, service, and accountability. I have a higher power of my understanding, and often that isn't enough. I'll never call myself cured of anything, because not only is addiction doing push-ups in the other room, it's also planning for the next obsession. It's a whack-a-mole. As part of my program of recovery, I'm not only going to meetings and working the steps, I have found here a community at BTS. You are all my inspiration, you are all my tribe, you are all my extended family. Whether you identify or not, as Harriet has pointed out, we're all recovering from something, and working the 12 steps is a path of living for everyone. So I'm grateful that I was finally forced into a program. You don't have to be a resident to benefit from this amazing place. Bob and I drive 60 miles every Shabbos to be here, and we would double it if we had to. I'm not going to say thank you to all the people I'm grateful for. You all know who you are. I'm going to give you all great big hugs later. I love the part that you all play in my life. I'm grateful that one of my sponsees is here, and she drove even further than I did to get here. And obviously I've got gratitude for Rabbi and Harriet and staff for doing everything wrong and having it turn out so right. There's nothing like this Bermuda Triangle of recovery we have all stumbled into. And you created this chaotic, crazy perfection by flying by the seat of your pants. And I'm so grateful that you do. So in tribute to the BTS musicians, I want to just say, we all need someone to lean on, and if you need us, you can lean on us. Thank you.